if everything that begins to exist is a cause, then can we apply this to the whole universe itself? Well, in order to do that, we have to find out if the universe began to exist in the first place. So who could tell me that what good reasons there are to believe that the universe began to exist at a point in time? Go on.
There are theories out there like the Big Bang theory.
The Big Bang. Everyone knows about the Big Bang? Put your hand if you know about the Big Bang. Good. And it's not the thing that happens after 2 minute shawarmas, right? Okay? So we're saying the universe began to exist. And one of the theories is the Big Bang. I'm going to come to that later. But one of the main reasons we believe that the universe began to exist at a point in time is because traditionally, a lot of the atheists like Bertrand Russell in 1960, he would say something like, the universe is just there, and that's all. Khalas. It's just there. And if it's just there, what does that mean? It would actually mean that the history of the universe is infinite. Because there's no beginning, no end. It only implies that the history to the whole universe is infinite. But then we question, we say, well, can this be really the case? Can we have a universe that has an infinite past? Okay? So say we're here at this point in time, and this is the past, this is the sign for infinity, okay? Can we have an infinite past? You can answer this question. Yes, sir?
Quick question. Who did you say said that?
Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell.
Bertrand Russell.
Yeah, 1964.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Reminds me of the song we used to sing in school. Who won the war in 1964? Do you know that song? Okay, I really killed it anyway. You got to call the police. I murdered the song. Alright. So can there be an infinite history to the universe? Well, the way to deal with this is to say, well, can the infinite really exist in the real world? Can the infinite exist in the real world?
Yeah.
Why?
You can't map an infinite to a limited universe, so you can't have a mapping, ontological mapping of infinity to real-world objects.
Yes. Probably reading the same books as I have been reading. Excellent. Yes, he's right. What the philosophers say, you can't have an ontological export into the real world, which basically means in normal American language, yeah, English language, that the infinity just doesn't make sense in the real world. And let me give you some examples. What's your name? Nora. Oh, Nora, yeah? Just Nora. No? Noor. Light. Okay. Sorry. Say we have an infinite number of Noors in this room. Yeah? Just imagine. If I take away 5 Noors, how many Noors do we have left? Okay. What else? Any other answers? What do you say? Infinity minus 5, if you're logical. Okay? So we can have 2 answers here. If we take away 5 from infinity, we have infinity. Or if we take 5 from an infinity, we have infinity minus 5. But if that's the case, then we still should be able to count in the real world how many Noors in this room. But we can't. So this shows us that we can't apply the concept of the infinity into the real world. It exists in a mathematical realm of discussion, in a mathematical realm of discourse that has its own axioms and conventions and assumptions. Let me give you another example. What's your name?
Farhan.
Farhan.
Yeah.
Okay. Farhan, say there was 100 Farhans in this room, whether we like it or not. Yeah? We have 100 Farhans in this room. If every possible moment I add another Farhan, am I ever going to reach a number of Farhans that we could describe as infinite? Why?
Because you can count them.
Sorry?
Because you can count them.
Because you can count them, okay? Anyone else?
No, that would not.
There's a measure.
You can't speak anymore.
You can measure time.
Sorry, who's that? Oh, sorry. You can measure time fine? Well, yes, sir.
You can't because infinity is immeasurable, so you can't add or subtract at a certain amount.
Okay, good. So you're just showing that it doesn't exist in the real world. That's good. But also you could say, well, what about infinity plus 1?
That's immeasurable.
But you could still logically have infinity plus 1, do you see? And even so, we're saying, can we actually get to the point we could describe as infinity? We're saying no, because at every possible point, there could be another possible point. And that's the point about this whole point. Get the point? Too many points, man. So the point we're trying to make is that there was a beginning to the universe. Because the history of the universe cannot be infinite. Does everyone get this point clearly? Who's confused? It's my job to deliver this. If you're confused, it's not your fault, it's mine. Okay, good. Now, this is also supported by astrophysical evidence as the sister mentioned Big Bang? Yes. Now, according to the Big Bang theory, or the hot standard model, it states that there was a point where they call singularity. And this singularity, they say, was infinite mass, zero volume, where all of matter and energy were created and space and time were also created. Now some people think of the Big Bang as this lump of mass in space-time, okay? There's a lump of mass, like a time bomb, yeah? Like a time bomb, and it has exploded, and then we had the universe. This is an incorrect actualization of the Big Bang. The Big Bang actually was the creation of space-time itself, according to an interpretation of the hot standard model. So, if that's the case, then essentially what we're saying, that the universe began to exist at a point, and not only that, it was created from ex nihilo, from nothing. So it all supports the second premise that the universe began to exist. So what's the logical conclusion? What logically follows? What necessarily follows? Okay, let's go. Whatever begins to exist is the cause. The universe began to exist. Hey, mashallah, it's very good. The universe, I put uni, right? The universe has a cause. Do you see how simple that is? Now this is actually a Quranic argument. This argument is also based in the Quran itself. Who knows the verse in the Quran that really summarizes this argument? Mufti Saab? No? Anyone know? Yes.
I know in Surah Al-Anbiya, I forgot the ayah number, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He describes the universe, and it's like a big bang. You know, it's in that surah, and then in another surah later on. One of the surahs in Juz Amr.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good. In the Quran, essentially, it says, do they think the universe came out of nothing? That famous ayah in the Quran, the famous verse in the Quran. Do they think the universe came out of nothing? The heavens and the earth came out of nothing. So this is like the basis for this type of argument. So we've concluded that the universe has a cause, right? That's what we've concluded. We've concluded the universe has a cause. Now, does this mean this cause is God? Does this mean this cause is God? No. All we know is it's just the cause. All we know is this is a cause to the universe. However, in order to understand that this cause has the basic description of the Islamic conception of God, we have to think about what this cause can be, which is called conceptual analysis, thinking about this cause. And we can conclude that this cause, first and foremost, must be one. Why must this cause be one? Anyone know? Go on.
Occam's razor.
One of them is Occam's razor. And it's nothing to do with shaving, okay? Occam's razor is a philosophical principle that you do not multiply entities, okay? Unnecessarily. Why do we say this? We say this because the simplest explanation is the best explanation. Not only that, when you have a far more complicated and complex explanation, then it creates more questions than you answer. So therefore you're back to the same point of trying to answer questions. So the best explanation is the most simple explanation. Good. So it must be one. It's like knocking on the door. We know there's a cause, there's something that created the universe. If someone knocks on the door, say this is our bedroom, right? Someone knocks on the door, it's our flat or condo, whatever you guys call it in America, yeah? You knock on the door, do you expect the whole of the LA Galaxy soccer team to be behind the door? With David Beckham there? Who likes David Beckham?
No.
Ooh.
No.
I'm only kidding. He's good. So, you expect this one person. You don't expect to be like 11 players from a soccer team. So the best explanation is that it must be one. Secondly, it must be uncaused. And this is very important because one of the key counter-arguments to this argument is what? Who created? God, exactly. Who can answer that? Don't be shy, even if your answer is crap. Don't worry. This is how you learn. The worst mistake to make is to think that you're never going to make a mistake ever. Okay, good. See, she's a logician. She's saying there's no answer for that because you're basically saying who created the one that created everything, which doesn't really make sense.
That wouldn't make sense because then he wouldn't be God.
Because he wouldn't be God. Exactly. So, from a definition point of view, it doesn't make sense. It's like saying